Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mommyana podcast. I know it's been a minute. Your girl been traveling. I've been outside enjoying my life. But today I'm gladly joined with my cousin Dee Demiko, and then also with Samie.
Hi.
And yes, I've been trying to get Samie out here for a while. We've been having some conflicts, y'all. So I'm happy she's been bearing with me because we finally are making it happen. But so Dee, she was on a previous episode. You guys probably remember meeting her where we talked about mother-daughter relationships. And then Samie, I'm like triple connected to her. So she's like my cousin Dee's childhood friend. And then also one of my childhood friends, sister-in-law. And then also sister-in-laws with Mommyana Elia. So small world out here in Denver, Colorado. But I'll let Dee reintroduce herself and Samie introduce herself as well.
I am Demiko Cherry, and I am related to Mommyana Elia. And Samie and I, our moms were pregnant at the exact same time. So that's kind of where our story began at the beginning.
Yep. So I'm Samie Burnett, and I think you explained it pretty well. I really don't have anything else to add to that.
They are womb friends.
Yes, our moms were friends and pregnant with us at the same time. So, we were born 6 weeks apart? Well, roughly 6 weeks.
I'm 50. You about to be 50, girl.
It's crazy. It seems like another day, but then I'm like, this is supposed to be a milestone birthday. And I'm like approaching my birthday. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't even know what I'm going to do, honestly. I don't even know if I'll do anything. That's usually what happens around the time of my birthday. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, my birthday comes. I'm like, eh.
Oh, you should do something. I don't ever do much for my birthday either. Like, I've never had a birthday party, actually. Like,
I've had one
family thing. They don't give birthday parties in our family. So I started giving my kid a birthday party.
I've had one adult birthday party, and that was when I was 30, and that was when I was married, and insisted on my ex-husband making sure to plan something for me since 30 was a milestone. And it was nice. We had a good time.
Really?
But after that, I never really thought much about it. 40, I was going through a divorce. So it was like, well, I wasn't in the mood to be celebrating anything. I did go to Vegas by myself for my 40th, though.
No,
my
40th, I had a birthday party. I had my first and only, my first birthday party that I've ever really had.
Where'd you have it at?
My house. I had a big backyard at my house. You never came to the house in Portland after I had moved out the small house. I moved into this big old house with this pond in the backyard. And so I had it in my backyard.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have one day. Somebody close to me should just throw me a party, I feel like. Though.
Is that a hit?
Maybe it'll happen one day. A surprise party, that would be cool. I would appreciate that.
Okay.
But, so do you guys have anything exciting going on this week or this weekend or anything exciting happening in your lives?
Moving my oldest back to college. He's getting an apartment.
Oh, is this his first year getting to the apartment?
No, this is the first year getting the apartment. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't know. Another expense for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's working towards helping pay for it, but still, yeah. It's actually the same amount of money I would have spent if he stayed in the dorm for his tuition and all that. But it's spread out, like you have to have the monthly payment instead of a lump sum payment. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that'll be exciting for him, though. I remember my first apartment in college. Good time.
Mm-hmm. You thought you was grown, huh?
Yes, I sure did. I was grown. I was living with my boyfriend. I definitely thought I was grown.
That's what I assumed when he said he wanted an apartment. I said, what do you think you're doing? I was like, you got a girlfriend now? Like, what the heck? And it was the conditions up there at CSU. They don't have a lot of housing, and the dorms are, they put a warning on the website saying if you're not an incoming student, you might want to look for alternatives because it's first come, first serve for the incoming students first, and that there's a housing shortage. So that's why he hopped on it right away, him and his friends, and they went apartment hunting right away. Because they're like, it's going to fill up. All these apartments are going to get rented out really fast. So they found something really fast, and the guy didn't make them sign a lease and he made them sign. He could sign a lease, but they don't start paying until August. So he already paid his first month.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they were on it.
Yeah, there's some smart guys. I was like, what? Okay. Because
most guys are not on it like that. So that's good.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm like, just don't come home with no oops babies or cooties.
Right. Wrap it up. Be smart. What about you, Dee Dee? Well, yesterday was Dee Dee's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to her. Happy 5-0. Looking like a PYT out here still though.
No, I just went water skiing and then spent time with my little guy, my little buddy over there. And he's so funny. But he's going to be so smart. And I'm looking forward to seeing how my daughter interacts with him as he gets bigger and smarter and more vocal. And he's about to give her a run for her money.
I am going out of town in the morning, going to San Antonio to visit my cousin James, and my brother's going to meet me down there. So I'm super excited for that. Honey Bun's going to come. So I'm super excited. I haven't traveled with her since, well, like March. I guess that was super long. Yes, but yes.
Yeah, because you were just down there, right?
Yeah, a couple months ago. So yeah, I'm excited to go back. She'll get some time to spend with her cousins. And, I'm trying to.
Do they play together nice with Honey Bun? How do they do with her?
How do they do with Honey Bun?
Yeah.
Oh, they do good. They're super excited to see her too. So yeah, it'll be a good time. My eyes are always so low on here, guys. I look high, but I swear my eyes are just like But cool. So we'll go ahead and get to the topic. Today we're going to be talking about friendship. So I think friends are a really important part of life, whether you're a mom or not. And I think we're not created here to be alone on this earth, even though we come in the world alone. We're created to build community amongst each other, which includes friendships and making friends with others who might not be blood related to you. So today we're going to talk about the importance of friendships in each of our lives and how our friendships have evolved as we've become moms, since all of us are moms. So my very first question is, are friends important to both of you all? And if so, why or why not? Some people go by, I don't need no friends. I got myself, me, myself, and I. Do you guys believe in that, or do you need friends?
I can quickly say that it was easy to see just from the dynamic amongst our family and how there was some of the dysfunction that I saw within the family structure. I knew I needed friends. like there was no other way I was going to get through that psychological process without outsiders to engage and run things by. And also it was a piece, especially I remember when I would be little and some drama would pop off, and Sammy's aunt would call my grandma and be like, hey, Sammy would like to have Dee Dee over. I'd be like, yes. The timing was perfect almost every time because I couldn't wait to get out of there. It was like a little escape. I got to go over to Sammy's house. We played Barbies and we made up our own little world. And it was more like a soap opera, if I remember correctly. Our Barbies were really guiding or as the world turns.
Yeah, we would get deep in the Barbie. We have whole story time.
What about as an adult, as a mom? How do you feel? Do you feel like friends are necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, do you even feel like friends are necessary? Yeah.
Well, I have a similar background with Demiko, except I don't have a very big family, so there wasn't a lot of kids within my family, right? So growing up, when we would have family barbecues, all the old friends and distant relatives and extended family, they would come and they would bring kids, and that's how I knew other kids growing up. But within the nuclear part of my family, there just wasn't any, right? So to me, friends was important to have that extension of other people outside the family because of that. Like, I don't have a big family. I just don't. It's not that family was weird or, every family has their own dynamic, but, it was just like isolation in a sense. Like, if I didn't have friends, what else was I going to have? Right. Like, I would have my grandparents and, my aunts and, the second cousins and stuff that would come around once in a while, but I didn't have any siblings. So, it's like, okay, I needed friends for that reason. Not that I don't like being alone, because I do like to ride solo dolo, so don't get it twisted. But as an adult, I think friends are important, but it's the connection that you have, that you build with them, that's important. Because you can have associates all day long. You can meet people, and some people jump the gun and they hang out with you a couple of times. They call you their friend. And that always makes me feel awkward, because I'm like, we just met yesterday. So how are you calling me friend? Because to me, friend is easily half a step, if not a quarter step, from calling somebody family, right? They're technically family. They're just not blood, right? So when someone calls me their friend, it's like, okay, well, I might be friendly. We might be friendly toward each other, but are we really friends? Like, what do I really know about you? Even if I don't have your telephone number, if I only bump into you once in a while, are we really friends? So I think distinguishing that is very important, and setting that type of, understanding with people when you associate with them, what they are. Most adults tend to know, but then you have some of those clingy types who just, everyone's their friend. And I ain't the one. I'd be looking like, I don't know. I even make that face, like, sometimes I'm like, this is my friend. I'd be like, okay. Like, when was the last time I talked to you on the phone? Or when was the last time I seen you and we really just chopped it up and, loved on each other, right? Like, if it's just out passing, I don't really consider people those friends. But if we loving on each other when we see each other, even if we only see each other every 6 months, and we're really like loving on each other, talking to each other, encouraging each other, supporting each other, then I'm really about calling you my friend, not a drinking buddy. That's totally different.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think for me, like, growing up, I had a brother. We're like 15 months apart from each other. We were pretty close in age. But growing up, it was I was the mean girl growing up. So I was really mean to my brother. We didn't start getting close probably until we were older. Like, I was in college, honestly. But I had like one best friend we went to elementary, middle school, and high school together. And she was a really mean girl too. And I'm not friends with her anymore. And I'm very thankful for that, actually. But like, I feel like I went through a phase where I felt like I didn't need any friends. And I was like, well, I have my family, because I'm the youngest out of, I think there's like 17 first cousins, and I'm the baby out of everyone, but I'm also the closest to all of my cousins. Like, I have my own relationship with each of them. So I always felt like, well, I have my family, so I'm good, but all of them are so many years apart from me too. And everyone's spaced out. A lot of people live in different states, or like, people have their own families now. So like, I think I reached a point where I was like, well, I do want friends. Like, and I started to appreciate it. I think it was just more so a maturity thing. But I have I wouldn't say a lot, because I don't have a lot of friends, but I don't think you need a lot. You just need a couple real ones, and that's it. But I have close friends now, and I truly value those friendships. I agree with what you said. When you consider someone a friend, they're like pretty much family to you. So I try to work on using the word friend not loosely, and use acquaintance a lot more, because I feel like I'm always meeting new people. I have friends I just said it, I have acquaintances that I'll go grab drinks with or go grab something to eat with. But my friends are the ones that's in the corner for me during hard times. And your girl's life has been flipped upside down over the last year, as I became a single mom, and just ended that super toxic relationship I was in. So I've really been leaning on my friends during that time as like a super support source of strength for me. They've been super supportive. So I think I've really, really learned to value my friends over the last year. I think I love them. They're my dogs.
Well, I have a different take on friendship than either of you, I think. Yes, I understand the utility of acquaintance, but I see friendship on a spectrum. I don't see it as one thing. Like, this is like a mom. Like, I know what a mom is, right? But like, I think you could have friends at levels and of degrees. And I guess it's why they have acquaintances, but they don't have much in between all of that. So like, for me, there are if I'm calling you an acquaintance, it probably means you're my neighbor who I really don't talk to, or it means that you're a coworker that I can't stand, or it means like there's no connection whatsoever. I don't have any connection to you whatsoever, and you're lucky you're getting acquaintance out of me.
But that's not really what an acquaintance is. Like your neighbor is your neighbor. Like your coworker is your coworker. An acquaintance is somebody you don't mind talking to, but they're not friend level.
You're not going to just outright call them like, this is my acquaintance. You don't say that.
Yeah, you don't say
You do?
Yeah, like you ain't my friend, girl.
You let them know, like, listen, this is your title. Just run with that.
Yeah. This is my acquaintance, Jill. Yeah.
In that situation, I'd just say coworker.
Yeah,
yeah. Coworker.
Yeah, I would never introduce it.
If I haven't offended toward you as a friend, I'm gonna make that known. Like I do have a coworker, and you know she's my close friend coworker at work, and I call her my little sister.
I'm tolerating your ass. That's what you are for me. Something I must tolerate, like mosquitoes. Okay.
I don't know. I think there's definitely a difference between acquaintance and friend. But yeah, you're never gonna just tell somebody you're an acquaintance because that would be super rude. So yeah,
especially if they consider you more. Like she said, there's different degrees, and some people consider someone they just talk to regularly a friend, even if they're not like close. You know, people are gonna look at what a friend is really about differently. I bet you if we talked to 10 different women and said, what do you call a friend? They would all have varying degrees of what they consider a friend. Mm-hmm. Just like we do here, we have varying degrees of what we consider a friend. And, you know, it's just going to vary from person to person. So I don't think it's kind of like, would you call a boyfriend if he's not really a boyfriend? I mean, would you call somebody a friend with benefit if they, you know, are they like, what are they?
So my next question is, if you guys could kind of describe your relationship with your best friend, and I believe you can have more than one best friend. I personally have 2 best friends, and and they're both guys too. And I've known both of them for over 10 years at this point. But I don't know, they're more like brothers to me. Like I call them up, I talk to them like they would be like a female friend to me, but we're just super cool. I feel like I could talk to them about anything. They're going to pull up for me if I need help with anything. There's been a lot of times that, you know, I've been going through struggling situations and they then came and scooped me. Or one of my guy friends, his name's Antoine. I remember one time I went out to eat. I think I was on a date or something. Actually, this was like some years ago. And my bank account was on zero and I forgot to transfer some money. I think I maxed the amount of transfers I could make for a month. So I was like, dang, bro, I don't got no money in my account. Can you like slide me 60? And, you know, I really should have made the dude pay for me, but that's another story. Anyways.
Dinner. Girl.
Right. We was going good.
Yeah, you lost me.
That's your friend too? Like, listen.
Right. That was the last date.
Is it the second and third date where you offered to pay date? Like,
no, this was the first date and the last date. But anyways, my friend gave me some money during that time. You know, like he didn't have to do that. That was nice. My other friend, T-Dog, you know, always available if I need a ride somewhere. Or like we're going to the airport tomorrow. He's probably going to pick us up. Like just always. When I was really sick, this is really what was meaningful to me more recently. I was sick about 2 weeks ago. And he came and brought me some Gatorade, some soup, some medicine. Me and my daughter were really sick. And he just like did that. I was like, good looking out, bro. Like that's love, you know? So I appreciate stuff like that. But what are you all's friendships like with your best friends, I guess?
You know, that word's evolving for me right now.
Okay, we can come back to you.
What about you, Samie?
I would have to agree with Miss Demiko. Like what you traditionally, you know, and especially since we're older than you, what you traditionally say is in your childhood, your teens, your 20s, what you consider a best friend, it evolves, right? What does that look like? And I would say as I'm approaching the fine wine age of 50, it looks very different. I'm less inclined to give that title to people because I think it's by action and how deep your connection is they just know, and you just know. It's not like, this is my best friend. Like, I kind of feel a little awkward when people introduce me as their best friend, because in my mind, I'm like, are we though? Like, are we tight like that? Like, do you know everything about me? Like the ins and outs of my brain, and can speak to me on a soul level, like spiritually, mentally? Do you speak to that about me? Do you support me in my goals? Do you know what I'm doing? And it feels weird to me when I hear that, when I'm like, but I also appreciate the ones who don't assert themselves into that position, even though I'm really tight with them, right? Like, it's just weird because some people really just thrive off of having a title, right? Yeah. So I don't think the best friend title is even a thing. It's like, either, we are like really super close and you're one of my oldest friends in life, but I'm not going to throw that around loosely, right? I don't actually think I've actually used the title on anyone since my 30s. Honestly, I was like, I have good friends and I have close friends and I have people who know me intimately to that degree. And Demiko is one of them. If I have to give people a title, I would say Demiko is a best friend. Right? Like, if we have to have the title to give a definition of what most people would consider a best friend, Demiko is one of mine. Mm-hmm. But I think because if you're an ever evolving person, how your outlook on the world is also going to evolve. And people just like to put things in a box and say, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. Right. And it's hard for me to say, this is what it is. I think you just know, if you have that connection, it's just a known thing. It doesn't have to be discussed or said. Like, I have male friends too. And I would say that even if I don't talk to them every day, I could say, yes, they're easily my best friend, because I feel like I can confide in them in some of my most intimate and deepest thoughts about things. Or if I have a problem, I know I can call them and talk to them, and they're going to have good advice, and they're going to see me through it, and they're going to follow up with me like, are you okay? How did that work out for you? It's just going to depend on the nature of your relationship. But best friend as a title is just a weird thing to me. It just is.
Yeah. I understand that. Like, you have friends are friends. You have different dynamics, different relationships with every friend that you have. Mm-hmm. I think for me too, though, like, I think I was kind of scarred having female friends for a while. So I was like really hesitant for a while to like get close to women. Like, I would only be so close. I would only share so much information, just because past relationships with women have just been bad. They've been very sabotaging. Like, a lot of my female friends have been jealous, and I'm like, why? Like, like, that's weird to me. But I've never had that issue with any of my guy friends. Like, it's opposite. But I think that was just the women I was choosing to be.
So I'm gonna throw a little wrench in that for you, because the assumption is by a lot of men that if you have a good male friend, they're as good to you as they are because they want to fuck.
Oh, you're frozen.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I don't agree with that, because granted, if they really did, or if they thought they had a chance, they would have made a move, right?
Right.
I think as you mature, you understand, especially in that male-female dynamic, you just understand, like, this is what it is. We are just friends. You can be friends with the opposite sex, and it doesn't have to be about sex.
Yes. I totally agree with that. And that was kind of my next question too. I think you can definitely have a platonic relationship with a male, or, the opposite sex is definitely possible. Both of my male friends, they've never tried me, never came at me like that or no weird stuff. And at this point, it would be really weird if they did do that, like extremely weird. So, like I said, I shared a lot of my intimate life with them, a lot of, like, they know a lot of details that are going on in my personal life. So it would be a little strange at that point. But a lot of people do. And I feel like I've had relationships where guys have had problems with me being friends with guys. But for me, I just interpret that as insecurity, because it's like, I've been friends with this person before you were even in the picture. In my last relationship, that was an issue. And I cut my best friend off to be in a relationship with that person. And now I'm no longer even in a relationship with them, I would never, ever do that again, like, because that's not okay. That's not loyal. But sometimes when you're in a toxic relationship like that and you're kind of being manipulated and controlled, it's, kind of difficult to make those choices. But yeah.
I was going to say the same thing she was about the best friend thing, right? If I was going to give somebody that title, it would probably be Samie at this point. But I think I was the friend who was the needy one, who was the one who wanted everybody to be her friend. And I find that over time, my tighter circle, which Sammy met a lot of them at the wedding, are more meaningful to me. And those are the people who I care about the most and would be heartbroken if I lost them. But everybody else, really, I just don't have the fuck budget for them, right? Like I only have so many fucks to give and have to monitor them a lot closer these days because I'm 50, you know.
Oh, we're gonna start using that as like I'm 50 now. This is we don't roll like that. We did that at 49. We don't do that at 50 no more.
Yeah, you can't just be giving out your fucks to all these people. And I thought that sometimes I'm even like, oh, please, like I'll be somewhere and I'll have a connection with somebody and we'll be talking like the mall or something. And I'm like, please don't ask me for my number. Please, 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 please. Don't ask me for my social media. Don't ask me. I don't want to be your friend.
We just discussed that. She and I just discussed this a couple nights ago about getting new friends in where she's at because she doesn't have any. And I'm like, not one, like you can, you might be missing out on a great connection.
Yeah, I think you should get at least one friend. Like
at least
one.
Get your ass out the house once in a while, do some girl shit.
Right.
It sounds like so much work.
It's not just one. It's not like going. It's almost like dating a guy. Go have a if they're a weirdo,
that sounds awful.
So,
dating a guy.
It's a girl.
No.
You should. I would be bored if I were you. Like you do need friends. You do.
I'm not bored though. I'm having the best time of my life.
I don't know if I believe that. I think she's convincing herself.
Yes.
Because had I moved to say I moved to a new city, I mean, I have lots of friends here in Colorado. I have friends in California. You know what I mean? That would be weird to me to get to a whole new place and be like, I have enough friends and not have any of them there with me. I would want to make
how hard it is to maintain long distance relationships. They're hard.
Yeah. So that's why you build a new one in where you're at because they're there.
Then I'll be no.
Yeah.
No. I have no.
Well, I'm wishing I could debate this all day. We've already been through this already.
Like I'm praying for friends stay to your life. That would be a blessing to you.
Ooh, no. Get away from yourselves.
My next question is, do you all feel like once you became moms, like your friendships changed with certain individuals? I know your kids are grown now, but if you could reflect.
I made friends for play dates.
Yeah,
I did.
I would say yes and no. By the time I started having children, I was 30. So a lot of my friends already had children. Even my closest friends, like they already had children. Mm-hmm. And then I had friends also in the same age who hadn't had children way later, like 10 years later. Right. So I'm like in the middle. And I would say a bit of the dynamic changed when it's like the ones who have children assume like, oh, you don't have time to do this, or you don't want to go out and do that. Right. And I'm like, no, I need to get away from this children and this man. Cause I'm still a woman person. That's what I remind women when they're having children, even as my friends who started having children after me, I said, remember that you're a woman first, and the woman still has needs and has to take care of herself, go out, have fun with her friends, go shopping, go get yourself some coffee, go get a pedicure, whatever that looks like, right? Like make sure you're still attending to the needs of the woman first, because how good of a mom can you be if you just dive right in and drown yourself in only being a wife, being, a partner, or being a mom? Like you lose yourself in that. And then you wake up 15 years later as your kids start getting less and less about being around you all the damn time. Then you don't know who you are because you haven't been cultivating that inside.
I agree.
So I was that one who's like, listen, I'm gonna still do me. as much as I can, because, I got to still be me first. I was here before everybody else, before y'all even came along, before the husband came along, before the kids came along. I was still me. Like, so even after y'all are long gone, I'm still just going to be me. So I'm going to do what I need to do to cultivate that person first.
And I agree with that. Like, I think it's important to like still do things for yourself and still have your own life outside of your child. So whenever I don't have my daughter, I'm definitely out doing something.
I was the same way. Like, I had all of my friends from Portland. We all raised our kids kind of together, and we all kind of it was kind of like a little community. And we all looked out for each other's kids. It was a really beautiful thing to see that. Like even at the wedding, I think Tamara was telling Sammy a story about how Tony used to scratch her kid at the daycare.
Yes.
And she had to call me and be like, "Can you cut Tony's nails?" And it was like,
your child was attacking my child.
Right. And I was like, "My angel would never." Like, and so like, it was just like a whole community. And so having friends as an adult, especially friends that were in line with my child's age, was really, really important, because it not only helped Tony see that just because you're a mom, you don't shut the world down. It helped also for her to learn socialization skills, which I later realized was extremely important that I did that. But at the time that I was doing it, I didn't understand the utility of it at the time. Now it's apparent.
Yeah, I agree. And it's hard finding that balance too, especially if you're a single parent. But I have a pretty solid support system. My mom, my cousin, she helps out a lot too with my daughter. But yeah, it's important. Still have your life. I try to work out every day still, when I can get out, go have a dinner with the girls, grab drinks and stuff, because I don't want to get lost in motherhood, because she is going to grow up and be an adult one day. And I don't want to be like, just so sad. And like, I know
I'm still dependent on her as part of your identity. You don't want that, right?
Yeah.
Then you'll be holding on to her, not wanting her to grow up, or not wanting her to move out, or like when she gets older, I will go off to college, you'll convince her to stay with you and just go to the community college and stay here. You don't want to be that mom. You don't want to be that mom.
No, I don't. I want her to live her life and be happy. I want her to do everything that she wants to do. I don't want to hold her back or feel like I'm holding her back from accomplishing anything. You know what I'm saying? You only get one life to live. I have my chance to do whatever it is I want to do. So if I don't take advantage of those things, that's on me. So I don't want to hold her back. We're always going to be close no matter what, but I do want to make sure that I have my life outside of that. As far as like my friendships changing since I had a kid, I don't think too many of mine have changed. I think some friendships have ended that probably needed to end even before I became a mom. But there's just certain things, certain ways, certain people live that, I decided like, okay, I don't really want my kid around this type of lifestyle. So, and it's all love at the end of the day, but some people are in your life for a season and some are in there for a lifetime. So
you'll find as you get older, and I learned this early on when I was younger, was that you could have history doesn't mean anything, right? And regardless if it's a boyfriend, your work environment or your friends, history should not dictate you staying in any kind of relationship if it's not good for you and it's not healthy for you and you're not getting the reciprocation that you offer, right? And I learned that early on because when my grandmother passed away, my aunt had a really close friend. She had been friends with her for 15 years because I remember this woman, coming around and being around when I was a little kid. And when my grandmother passed away, I won't repeat what she said to my aunt when my grandmother passed away, but it was really flippant and a total disregard of my aunt being in mourning about her own mother passing away. And she stopped being friends with her immediately after that. And she explained to me then too, she's like, you just can't have people in your life who are no good for you. And she showed me her true colors in this moment when I'm in a time of mourning, of not supporting me when I needed it the most. Right. So, and I was like, wow, like I couldn't believe it because, I mean, they'd been friends for a long time. This woman, her name was Beverly. She was around all the time. Like, she was like part of the family. That's how close they were. So I learned then, like, if you have to let him go, you have to let him go. So don't ever feel bad about it. And don't ever let history dictate you and making it work, trying to make it work, right? Like, oh, well, okay, I'm going to forgive them again because they just going to do the fuck shit again. They're going to do it again and again and again, just like you would if you was with a boyfriend or a partner or husband. If they going to keep doing it again and again because you're allowing it. And you have to do this. You have to take the same stand with your friends.
That's true. Samie dropping gems. I agree. Length does not mean anything. You could meet someone tomorrow who, you could meet a new friend tomorrow who could be like just super ride or die for you, you know? You could build a good connection with
like,
them.
No.
Like a greater friend to you than any of the friends you've ever had. So I think you should keep your heart and your mind open to that. You're never too old.
You know, I did my friend time.
But you're never too old to meet new people. You're never too old to learn something new. You're never too old for any of that. As long as you have rest in your body.
Other interests, though.
Huh?
I have so many other interests, though.
What are your other interests?
My grandson. Oh, I enjoy so much time with him.
That is amazing, but you still need friends.
Okay, and then outside the time you spend with him, then what?
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time.
And not when
there's still time you're not spending with him. So then what?
So then I have to spend time with Anthony. And then when I'm not spending time with Anthony, I'm spending time with Tony. And when I'm not spending time with Tony, I'm spending time, in meditation and enjoying me time. And me time is very important to me. And I swim in me time. Oh, love, like, I might go get in the swimming pool right now. Like, it's right for that tonight. And then what else do I do? Oh, roller skating. Oh, just love to roller skate.
You wouldn't want a homegirl to go roller skating with or to do some time with. Like, what if I lived down there? And I mean, even though we're family, we would still be friends too. Like, wouldn't you appreciate if I went roller skating with you, or even Samie, or went to the pool with you?
You guys can't use yourselves as examples.
Fine. No new friends then, like Drake was saying. Yeah. That's what she's basically telling me. No new friends. Yeah.
That's not a good mindset. I used to have that mindset, but I don't think that serves you very well.
It doesn't.
But I'm older than you.
What'd you say?
I've already done my friend time. I just told you. Mm-hmm. I put in the work. It's time for me to retire now.
See, so I've made new friends too, like since my divorce, because I was open to that, right? Like, it was part of it was like, I'm creating a new life for myself anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So I was open to having new friends, and I've got a lot of great, I would say newer. I mean, I've been friends with them for a few years now, and it's not like new anymore, right? But I would never categorize them as like friends that I've had for like decades and decades. They are newer friends to me, but I still there's a value to having them because it's like I still get a fresh perspective. They're a fresh perspective, not the I knew you from when we were 10 type of friend, because those people will still sometimes want to put you in a box and keep you there because that's just what they remember. These people, the new people, are seeing you who you are right now. Demiko.
I love that for you.
So maybe who you are right now can have that value add of having somebody
love
new.
That for you. It's beautiful. It's
seeing you for who you are right now.
So heartwarming.
Do you guys know, Didi? I think I already know the answer to this for you, but Samie, do you feel like it's harder to make friends now, like as an adult? I feel like it's super hard to make friends now. It's hard to like. I feel like it is. It's hard to like trust.
I don't think it's hard to make friends. Like, it's hard to trust people because people are always going to try to come into your life, right? It's not hard to get a new friend. It never is. It never is, because people might be drawn to you. People like you. You may have a connection. You have instant chemistry, whatever that looks like, right? It's not hard to make a new friend. It's harder to maintain a friendship because they may not be in alignment with where you are in life, and they're looking for something out of you and in the connection that you don't have to offer, you're not giving, right? Or you don't want. They may be into things that you ain't into, and you find that out later, and here you are calling each other friends, and this person's a whole crackhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get your friends.
Yeah, I'm not a crackhead,
so well.
I don't think we should be friends, right?
You explained my position so well, Samie. You took the word right out of my mouth.
You have to date your friends, okay? You
right.
You have to do that. You have to. You really do. You do.
Yeah.
That was
you get
so
to know
good,
them. You get to know them.
You outdid yourself.
You ain't even trying to get to know nobody, so be quiet.
I would like to meet more moms. I don't feel like I need newer friends right now because I have like a solid group of friends right now. I don't have any friends that don't have children. So it's nice that we could all get together and our kids could play together and stuff. But I'm also not closed off to meeting new people. But I'm not out here like, oh, I need a new friend. Like, where y'all at? Like the core is solid right now. And I love all of my homies.
I get friends every day.
Every day?
Where?
On TikTok.
Oh, and TikTok.
Don't you have to go somewhere for that? Not around the block, not down the street. Right. You have to go somewhere. When you meet somebody who likes to skate, you skating at the skating rink, and you meet somebody who's just like you, who goes up there and just loves to skate, and she ain't really, she just goes by herself and just be chilling and just be having a little good time herself. And you bump into each other, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm here." I come here on such and such day. I usually come on these days, but today I decided to come today. And then you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's what you was gonna do." She has the same interest as you, and you start talking and you find out, hey, you guys are similar age. You've got similar experience.
That has happened. That has occurred. And I do get the number.
No follow-up.
Yeah.
She just like these dudes out here. You give them your number or you
and be ghosting.
Yes, ghosting them. That's not right.
One time this lady was like, we were in the sauna and she's like, "Oh my God, we have so much in common." I'm like, that was a good conversation. She's like, "Well, here's my number. Maybe we can hang out sometime." I was like, No, I don't want any friends.
No.
Where do you all meet new friends at though? I feel like
everywhere.
I'm in the Urban Leadership Foundation group, and there's a couple of girls that I've connected with that are really cool. But as far as like, I don't know if I've made like friendships out of there, but they're definitely good people that I would connect with and go grab a drink with, go on a hike with. Yeah, at this point in time, but can it develop further?
Can it develop into something more? Absolutely. Probably can. Why not?
Yes, I think.
Why not?
But I go work out all the time, like, and nobody ever tries to talk to me at the gym, like not like that, but like in a
friendly. Ain't nothing but old folks at the gym when I go to the gym because I go super early in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
I'm the old folks.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe that's why, because it's only
people like 40 and 50 and 60,
and she was really, but yeah, and I'm like a speak if spoken to person. I'm not like, hey, how's your, I'll say hi, but I don't go past that. If somebody
talk to me, they're gonna hit on me. They're trying to hide me. So I'd be like, nah, and that's white man, black man. As soon as they're like, what's your name? I'd be like, what you need to know my name for?
Right. Do white men approach you? Do white men approach you, Samie?
Not on the street, but like if they think I'm friendly enough, they will. Yeah.
I don't ever get white men ever. But
yeah, I get approached by all kinds of men.
Well, you live in Florida too.
Yeah. But I still have this wedding ring on and it doesn't seem to
matter.
Yeah, that don't matter.
Like,
it don't matter. I don't care what state you live in. You can live under a rock and they're gonna see that ring and be like, ain't that on the wrong hand?
Right. Your man don't let you have friends.
I used to have friends tell me that. Like, that's on the wrong hand. Why are you trying to lie and say you married? I'm like, really? So this is coming from somebody who's probably never been married. If you gonna try to tell me I'm wearing my ring on the wrong hand.
Weirdos.
Yeah, but friends, I mean, I think I have met a friend. Her name is Joy. I like her. But, we don't get to see each other as much as we'd like to. And I'm probably gonna work on that, in the coming year or so. But
the coming year. So in 2024, August next year, y'all gonna be friends.
Oh, we're already friends.
I thought you said you think you want to be friends.
No, we've been. I went to the events. She came to my daughter's baby shower. I came to her house like a couple weeks ago. Like, we're at the beginning stages of it. So
okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We went to the DAC Shack and had daiquiris. That was fun. Nice. But she got a boyfriend now. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to have a boyfriend. I ain't had one in a minute, and I don't want one.
You know how they get
Have you not had a boyfriend, Samie, since you've been divorced?
I have had a couple, but
yeah,
they didn't. I would not recommend.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, they get a boyfriend and
he got all kinds of time for the games and the fuckery, and I'll be like, listen, y'all too old to be doing this dumb ass shit, and that's what I don't have time for.
I agree.
And when your girlfriend gets a boyfriend, they have to develop that relationship, so they don't have as much time for you.
I think I call bullshit, because if you're a mature woman, you have time to do it all. You're gonna, whatever's a priority, you're gonna show that, right? Mm-hmm. So right now, obviously, a priority is her boyfriend, but
I don't know.
Don't dive so deep into being this man's girlfriend, and then he be on some fuck shit, and then come back around and be like, "Hey, girl, nah, man."
I don't think she's like that.
Okay, like that. So you just been ghosting her? Is that what you're telling us?
That's what it sounds like.
She's not like that. So who's like that then?
Great.
She's really sweet. She actually just moved here from Denver.
Really?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, she's really sweet, and I really like her. And she's really smart, and she's really got her shit together. And we have a lot in common as far as racial justice issues and just being an older woman and understanding spirituality. Yeah, she's cool. She's nice. Cool piece.
Nice.
Sounds like friendship in blooming too. Don't sleep.
Yes. Keep developing that. That's good.
Look at her like,
She's from Denver. Good vibes. We're from Denver. You're from Denver. That should give you good vibes,
She does give me good vibes. I like her a lot. She's super cool.
Okay, good. I'm gonna check in with you a couple months to see how that
right. We're not doing the Drake thing. No new friends. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
He always says that because he's really wealthy, and a lot of people that come around him probably just want him for his money. I get it. No new friends when you're in that type of situation. Okay. You have to be a little bit more selective based upon your life and your lifestyle and who you can allow in your circle. I get it. But we just some regular ass motherfuckers. Okay?
Right.
Yes, we still have to be selective, but not that damn selective.
Right. I think I've been burnt by a lot of women and their jealous behaviors. And now, it's hard not to go places and smell insecurities on people. And it stinks. And when you smell it, you're like, oh, this bitch right here. So then you're like, oh, I can't be friends with her. Then you walk down another aisle, and maybe you're at the grocery store, and here comes another, hey girl. And then she says something self-deprecating, and you're like, ooh, another insecurity. This bitch gonna be jealous of me in 0.5 seconds. Yeah. Moving on.
That's been my experience too. I've been scarred from a lot of female friendships. But again, I think that was me not having boundaries for one. And then two, just the type of females I was choosing to surround myself with, jealous, envious, mean girls. I want gentle, kind friends. I'm a kind person, so I don't want people who bring that out of me.
You know what? I'll say my experience over the last few years in gaining new friends has been an amazing, wonderful experience. I would say every new person that I've encountered and become friends with over the last few years has been nothing but a wonderful experience for me. And maybe that's because that's just what I personally wanted to manifest, was good friendships, good relationships, connections, post-divorce, is like, I want good friends. And, I would say that incorporating the new friends into the old friend group has been a challenge, but I don't even work on that. I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna hang with these people. But I was always like that anyway. Like, I don't feel like I have to work to make everybody be friends that I'm friends with. Like, no. So I would say I've been pretty lucky in that department when it comes to gaining new friends, but I think it's because of discernment and, really catching people's vibe before they even open their mouth type of thing. It's like, what are you about? And when I do go hang out with those, my new friends, it's always a wonderful time, always a wonderful experience, supporting one another, talking to one another, really just being there in the moment.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Happy for that for you. But that's important to have that wisdom, that discernment, to be able to see into people's character and their true intentions, kind of off top. So you're not just being so gullible out here, That's super important. Yeah. But I think that's a good way for us to end this, I just want to say shout out to all my homies, my friend Jifa, Whitney, Antoine, T-Dog, Danae, Kyoto. I love y'all. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me again, though. And thanks to all of our viewers for tapping in and joining us as well. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Mommyana Podcast. I'm always looking for guests to join the podcast discussion. So if you're interested, go ahead and slide in the DMs or send me an email at mommyana.podcast@gmail.com. And as always, shout out to my brother Derek on the editing of this episode. You can find him on IG too at DWeatherlyBeats. But I will see you all next time. Have a great week.
Bye, guys. Let's
go. D. Weatherly gon'
kill it.